I think this should show game developers that what people care about the most is not the new freaking like the graphics or not new like abilities or not new things in the game that you can do. The thing that people care about the most is fucking characters and story.
Hey, Keanu Reeves, since you're new around here and you've never done an intro to a stream before, can you take care of the intro for this one?
Yeah, Keanu.
Who the fuck is this guy talking to? I'm Johnny Silverhand. Can't you fucking tell?
Okay, Johnny, take it away,
They call you
Johnny.
Silverhand because you come on your hands a lot.
I'm known for a lot of things. Coming is one of them, 'cause I got a nice cock. But it's time to wake the fuck up, samurais. And today we are talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners, episodes 1 through 5. So, does any of you motherfuckers want to start?
The show was fucking great.
You're doing
Finally,
great
we're
so
watching
far.
a good show. It's so fucking good. I love every second of it. So that's what I gotta say to start.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Why are you
I'm
guys
enjoying
fucking
it so far.
smiling? You think this
Wow.
is a joke?
And all the fuck you guys have to say is, I'm enjoying it so far.
I'm more
having a
surprised
good
that you
time.
guys aren't lost within the world of Cyberpunk and Night City.
It's not complicated at all.
And Bixby just went off.
It's a bunch of fucking.
Thank you, Bixby. Hey, Bixby.
It's a bunch of people that are getting fucking addicted to technology. It's why is that confusing?
Well, you don't know anything about the cyberware or what limits it has. Or do you guys understand the whole cyber psycho?
We don't really need to for the context of this story. All we need to know is that it's possible to become a psycho, and everyone that's worn that thing on David's back has became a psycho. So that's all that really matters for the context of the story.
Well, I wasn't too worried, but maybe a little, that you guys wouldn't understand all about the Night City and get turned off from it. I will say, this show starts off with a fucking bang. Literally, they're banging.
Yeah.
You guys enjoy the sexual content of Edgerunners?
I mean, there's a lot of, I think that the first one where we see David and he gets his friend sends him porn and he's like, oh shit, and he freaks out. That was funny, but then the 6 other times we saw some fat dude having sex with a pocket pussy, I was like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
David sits right underneath him, right in the splashdown. I was like, David, I wouldn't sit there if I were you.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was for a second. Like I was super confused when it switched to like that frame where like everyone's kind of like in that hub space. He just got big boy chilling with his legs over the edge. He's got like a fucking can between his legs and like, all right, it is what it is. Maybe he's just wearing some weird fucking aluminum foil around his fucking crotch like bootleg Keanu. But then eventually we go to the Ripper dock and
Yeah,
he
that
just
was
him chilling there with a fucking, like you said, a tub across his fucking Johnson. And I'm like, oh
well,
shit.
it's gross. That part was gross too because he's sitting there. It happens. He gets freaked out and looks at David, and then it's still just going, and he just like, "What's up?"
Starts it
bitch?"
right back up.
Yeah, I was like, "What the hell is wrong with these people?"
Yeah, dude. It's in the zone.
AutoZone.
You know, the show was. I think the show is right now like an 8 out of 10. There are some things that obviously you can tell they didn't have as big a budget as they wanted to because they reuse a lot of the background. A lot of the like 90% of the background characters are there's like still there's JPEGs, and there's some moments where the animation is really bad, but I think the story, the characters, and the world carry that. Like I don't really care about the animation flaws because the story, the world, and the characters are so good.
Yeah.
Like this, Cowboy Bebop should take notes because this is how you introduce a main character and automatically get me to love him in the first like 5 minutes he's on screen. So I love David. He's such a good character.
How did he start out again? Was he just like walking into school or some shit?
Yeah, and he was just like his whole vibe, his whole like I don't know. I love him.
It's because he's wearing a yellow jacket, isn't it?
He wasn't wearing a yellow jacket in the
It's
first
later
scene.
on, man.
Later on, though.
Fucking spoilers.
That's his
dude.
character arc. You know what
No,
else is
like
a spoiler? His mom fucking dies.
yeah.
Because Trauma Team wasn't hired by her. She didn't have the premium plan.
That's fucking stupid as shit. It's like I remember watching I don't know. I'm not gonna dig myself into a hole because I was gonna try and compare it to the game, and I didn't play through the game. I watched people play through it, so I don't know like enough about it. But I was just trying to draw parallels a bit between the show and the game. I liked both. I mean, story wise, I think both were good. It's really cool to see an animated take on it, like with a show like this versus something you play through.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think, am I the only one here that has experienced the game?
I want to go back and play it now that they fixed it, but
Yeah, from my experience, it is
Me too.
definitely no inconsistencies with the show and the game.
thanks for
With-
that hot take.
With
Piano.
Trauma Center, they introduce it early on in the game, and it definitely shows a disparity between the corpo world and the street kid world.
Yeah, 'cause
If you can't afford it, you don't matter.
yeah, exactly.
Such
Street
as
kids
the
can't-
wind blows in Night City.
almost like the real world.
You don't
Exactly
got the
like the
eddies,
real
you don't
world.
fucking matter.
No,
Exactly.
it's not like the real world because in the real world they will pick you up, and then if you don't have insurance, they'll just make you pay a couple
Yeah, they'll
$100,000.
come for you after. Mm-hmm.
I like the whole concept for the mom. Like she was working really hard to make sure her son had a good future, like a better future than whatever situation they were in. And we find out later on that she was working with like the Edgerunners, right? And it's the complete opposite of what she wanted David to
Yeah.
go into. Like he was in this school to be a corpo, and that just wasn't really the vibe for him. Like he always showed up late. He fucking hated the principal or whatever the dudes. Not the principal, but what's the organization called?
Arasaka.
Arasaka, yeah, Arasaka's boy. Bitch boy. That fight was stupid as hell. Like
That was
it was
just
like
that was anime at its peak, dude.
that was
peak
amusingly
anime.
stupid though.
For which one? Oh,
That was the
That
stupid
was just
part.
peak anime, dude.
the asshole bully.
It was a throwback to
Fist of the
it was
North Star.
Yeah, it's called the Fist of the North Star. So.
No. It definitely shows the capabilities of cyberware and how it controls the user's nervous system.
Well, I just going back to the mom. I like, yeah, I love. So at first I was like, okay, she's the generic goody two shoes mom who wants her son to do good and hates the gangs and blah 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 blah. But
Better
then
life for
in
him.
episode 2, you're like, oh, or episode at the end of episode 1, whenever you find out, you're like, oh shit, the reason she wants a better life for him is because she's living the life she doesn't want him to live.
Mm-hmm.
So it adds a lot of weight to her character and her motivations as a character.
Yeah. At the end of the first, I think, I mean, maybe you guys assume differently, but I just assume that she picked it up because she like saw it and she just kind of like stumbled across it and didn't really know what it was. But then obviously we see that she specifically went out of her way probably to pick up that piece of tech and was like made sure that she was a part of the trauma center crew who was sent out to that event or whatever you want to call it.
No, like well, I immediately knew she picked it up to sell it, but I didn't realize she was gonna be. I thought she was just desperate and trying to get involved and shit. I didn't know she was so hardcore involved in a gang. So
yeah,
She missed the part where she grabbed it, where she like got it. So all of a sudden, when it got to the point where he saw it at their place, it was just like so conveniently there, and he's like, "All right, I'm gonna pawn this shit, maybe." And he's like, "Better yet, fucking pop this shit in my back."
Yeah.
Fucking sucking on that spine.
and he goes and dude, that scene so gruesome when he gets that attached to his spine. I was like, bro, you don't get. It's The future. Y'all don't
Silly
have any
stupid.
fucking
Goodbye,
fucking
samurai.
numbing stuff,
But
whatever
yeah,
it's called, not like a fucking
Novocaine or
anesthesia or
anything.
whatever.
Yeah.
Y'all can't numb my boy up a little bit. At least get him a little drunk so he doesn't feel it. Dude just
Morphine,
got his
something.
spine ripped out and he was fully conscious for it.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to take a point at some point to talk about some of the great voice acting in this series, and I guess that it'll kind of depend on whether or not you guys are watching sub or dub. I ultimately decided to watch the dub,
I'm
but
watching the
just
sub.
as a fun fact, the dub voice actor for his mom, who is named Gloria, her name is also Gloria.
Bye, samurai.
Don't know if that was on purpose or just a coincidence, but that's cool.
I'm watching the sub, and the sub is great. The sub is great.
Yeah, I kind of looked it up and did some research. By the way, Yusuf, you're not muted. I did some like
Welcome
research
back,
before
samurai.
I started, and the like community opinion on Reddit was that the dub was worth watching. Because if you don't know him, I feel sorry for you, but Giancarlo Esposito is the voice of Faraday, like that big bad boss guy. So he's good in everything that he does. And part of because I watched a little bit of the sub at first, and then I was like, hold on, I guess I should check first. Also, this is an aside, but at least for me, I felt like I was struggling to keep up with the sub, like reading all the subtitles and all the everything that was going on. It felt so difficult to keep up. So part of it was just that I just kind of copped out and I was like, this is too much work. I want to just listen instead. But with the dub, there's, like David and especially his mom, they had like, I guess, you know, like Latino accents, and like people are having like kind of Caribbean, like the Ripper guy had like a Caribbean accent. Whereas I feel like with the Japanese voice actors, they're just saying things in Japanese and they're not trying to like use those accents. They're just talking, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it was
They
just
have
kind of more interesting to me to have that, I guess, like vocal diversity, if you want to call it that or whatever.
but to say there's no vocal
Oh.
diversity in the Japanese voice acting is like it's like a Japanese person listening to the English dub and being like, oh, there's no like there's different Japanese accents that we don't pick up on them because we don't speak Japanese.
Fair enough.
So
those are
and
more noticeable to me.
and man, I don't care how good a dub is. The only dub I will say is better than a sub is Full Metal. But besides that, there are no dubs that can capture the emotion of a Japanese voice actor. It's not possible for me. Like when a Japanese voice actor screams and like their R's like not their like the end of their words roll, and it's like oh, it's so fucking cool. I love it. And
I think
the way they
on
say
a,
David's name in this is so good.
on a side note for dub versus sub, which one I think is better? It might be a debate for a different day, but I think Spy Family for me is better dubbed than sub because I can pick up on the humor and the other cues better. But it's kind of similar to what you were saying, like in the other show.
Well, somebody who is a
Laughing.
part of the Full Metal dub, who it looks like we haven't seen his character yet, but it looks like Matt Mercer does a voice for one of the people that we haven't seen yet in the show. So I'm already excited to see that character whenever they do turn up.
Yeah. Overall,
That's a lot
the
gone.
dubbing is pretty good on any side, so you can feel
Are you
free to
watching
watch
dub
it.
too, Trev? Are you watching dub 2 Silver Hand?
Silver Mama,
That's
Silverback.
goddamn right.
Silver
So
Crotch.
I'm the only one watching sub.
Yep.
Bro, the sub is so good, man.
Like I said, it felt like a lot. At least at the beginning, there was so much going on the screen that then trying to read the words at the bottom, I was immediately overwhelmed.
Just get better,
So,
guy.
hey, guy, I only
Yeah, like
wanted to have to watch it one time,
when they're
guy.
having that
I only watched
communication,
it one time.
when you're having like that communication, like that,
newbie.
like a wiring talk or some shit, and it's like
Yes,
on the side of
especially
the
with
screen.
that.
I mean,
A
you
phone
hear
call.
them saying it anyways. Yeah, the phone call, whatever. You hear them saying it anyways. So I mean, you have it in one place, but I feel like it kind of takes away from the rest of the aesthetic there of the whole city and whatever heist that they're currently on.
Mm-hmm.
Because it lets you, like, if you can hear it, I don't know. I'm trying to think of it like, I don't know. It's man, it's just hard to explain because if
So
I'm
does
just sitting and focusing, feel like I'm watching a game, and
but
if I'm sitting and
I
that
guess
doesn't
that's
make
what it's kind of meant to do. I
no,
assumed.
that doesn't make any sense because is that every time you watch a sub, it's the same thing. It's just the subtitles are in a different area of the screen.
here I'm saying it's like doubled down because you have like the same conversation. They're
Yeah,
saying it and it's showing the text. So
No,
you're like looking at that.
it's
And
like
you're like,
it's a part of the
when they
show.
do
I agree with you, Yusuf.
the phone calls, they don't have any subtitles on the bottom of the screen. It's just the
see, well,
phone call.
I'm not listening to it sub, so I wouldn't know. But then I guess that's fine.
Mm, That's a pretty
I
good
think it's a
attention
good.
to detail.
Yeah,
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 it's
and
brilliant.
I think Yusuf is right that it makes it feel more like a video game, and I think that was probably intentional since this is based on the video game.
It's in the exact same world, and all the UI and assets are taken straight from the game. The phone call, the map that they show, all the cyberware and hacking, it's ripped straight from Cyberpunk 2077. So
Yeah, there
they're
you go.
trying to get you immersed in the world of Night City.
Yeah. I guess that
Or
could
you
be a
either
question.
die a legend or fade into obscurity.
Yeah. So, Mr. Silverback Gorilla, can you then tell us, is that also a part of the game? The fact that we keep hearing, because I noticed that whenever they're doing that little communication,
What
that
the
every
fuck are
now
you
and
asking
then,
me, Samurai?
every now and then there are pieces in their, whatever they're saying, there are parts where it stutters and they have to repeat themselves. So, I mean,
You mean
it's
people
hard.
stutter
Just
over the
pay
phone?
attention. No, but it's like it's consistently happening with multiple different characters, and it only ever happens when they're using that communication device.
It's like
Just pay more just pay more attention in the next 5 episodes and tell me if you see it. Trust me.
They don't have the upgraded phone plans. They don't have unlimited data.
they can't even afford Trauma Center. Why the
That's
fuck
what
would
I
they
was
have the
that's
premium
what I was going to
plan?
ask cuz I didn't know if that was a thing.
It's all
But
Arasaka's
I have
fucking
been noticing
fault.
it. All I can say is I've been noticing it. If you pay more attention, try to watch and listen anytime they use those little communications, and there will be bits where it stutters. And it like repeats one or two words because it's not like, you know, I don't know. It's like we said we would be there, blah 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 blah, and so like it repeats the same thing like twice, and so it feels like it's just like a little glitch or a hiccup with the technology, and so I didn't know if that was potentially also some like small detail that they carried over from the game into the show, which I thought would be cool.
Potentially, but folk calls do have the possibility of stuttering. The connection isn't preem. Got me, Choom?
Yeah, you're right. Like when somebody's video looks like they're in a PowerPoint.
All right, when are we going to talk about the baddie?
I'll go get my food and I'll keep listening while you talk about the baddie. You go for it.
Maine? Yeah, he's pretty fucking cool.
No, Maine's fucking girl that fucking beats the shit out of him and sucks his fucking tongue off.
That was so fucking weird, dude.
Everyone's got their own little kinks.
When she punches him in the face and then he starts bleeding, she's like, I was like, ah, what the fuck?
And then David calls. He's like, I'm having a moment here, little guy.
And he's like, David, why are you
Where's
calling me?
Lucy? I can't find Lucy.
No, yeah, I'm assuming you're talking about Lucy. Lucy's
Yeah.
fucking badass, dude.
Dude, Lucy's the
She's
fuck,
so
yeah,
cool.
dude.
Is it just me, or is she throw me off now? Because at the first appearance of Lucy in the show, she had a very exaggerated excitement about her when interacting with David. But after the second episode, she seemed to be a little cold and distant, pretty much the
It's
rest of
because
the episodes.
They explain why.
I think she was trying to get Well, what do you? Okay.
Well, why don't you explain it for me, Samurai?
She explains what, because in the whole conversation they have before they make out, they talk about that, and David's like, The way I interpreted it was Lucy was so excited, like she was her normal self with him because she didn't care about him. So she was like, I don't give a shit if this guy dies. I'm just gonna be excited, be goofy, be my normal self. But then when she started getting feelings for him, she was like, holy crap, I don't want this guy to die. I want to take care of this guy, and if he's around me and around us, he's going to die. So I want to be cold, so he doesn't want to hang around me anymore. She explained that 100%. She was like, yeah, I don't want you to be around me anymore because I don't want you to die. And Dave was like, bitch, I'm taking you to the moon. Let's fucking go. I'm not leaving. And then they kiss.
He's like, I'm taking you to the moon. She's like, I'm gonna fucking take you to the stars, bitch.
Yeah,
Watch.
like that's why I love Lucy, because she's so complex, and like she was being a cold to David because she was trying to protect him, because she knew getting involved in this life is gonna not be safe for him. So that was brilliant writing.
Yeah, I don't think there's really any character I dislike. Well, aside from the handsy guy, the guy with the giant fucking hands.
What guy?
Who eventually got flatlined.
Dude, that scene, my jaw was on the fucking floor, dude.
Yeah.
I love when shows have the balls to kill people. So good. It was such a fucking good scene.
Had it on like some derpy ass, like weird ass fucking mushroom tipped dude.
Yeah.
That was like cracked the fuck out. And then like boom, just out of nowhere. Shit happens. And you get to see like everyone's reactions, especially David's, like just being in his perspective. Like just the shock and inability to even react to it.
That scene was so good in so many ways, because one, it subverted expectations, because that whole time when that dude's pissing, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be a fucking comedy scene, whatever, let's just move on. The handsy guy goes up, I think his name's Pike, he goes up to mess with him, and Pike gets his fucking head exploded. I was like, what the fuck? And then David, with him like freezing and going into shock, that's him getting over his trauma of guns, because he's scared of guns. Like throughout that whole episode, we were building up like his training montage. He refuses to use guns because reminds him of his mom and how his mom died.
That's right.
So he overcomes his trauma of his mom's death. Has a badass scene where he saves Lucy, and then Maine comes over the top and saves David. I was like, this is so fucking cool.
Dude, I seriously thought that they were gonna do Maine wrong too, like do him dirty, because like the way that David didn't react, I thought Maine was gonna lose his fucking arm or some shit, because like he forced his hand to like cover David. But yeah, I thought it was like really cool how he was able to actually react and, like you said, overcome his fear of using guns. I thought it was kind of bullshit. He didn't flatline the dude with the one shot, but I guess he was just fucking
That's
cybered out
cyber
all the way.
psychos for you. It's no longer the person in control, it's the cyberware.
You said you were worried they were going to off Maine too. I mean, they foreshadowed Maine's death so hard after that scene.
Yeah.
When they're looking at the golden hands, and Maine's like, "You want them?" David's like, "I got my eyes set on something else," and Maine's like, "Oh, these? Oh, yeah, when I die, they're yours." I'm like, "Okay, Maine's gonna die. Maine's gonna die, and David's gonna get his arms."
I don't get the temptation of that. Like, of all things, why the hands or why the arms?
Did you not see his fucking hands completely obliterate?
Turn to a fucking cannon.
Obliterate. I don't get surprised often anymore in my line of work, but that had my jaw hitting the fucking ground. That was preem.
Your jaw was hitting the ground because you were fucking sucking on that lollipop too hard.
Johnny Silverhand does not suck on lollipops. Okay.
Johnny from Ed, Edd and
Get
Eddie
that
sucking
through
on
your head. Okay.
Sucking on a jawbreaker over here.
What is that even?
It's a cigarette, obviously.
Fucking TOS, bro. What the fuck is that?
It's none of your goddamn business, samurai. Now move on. How about that Rebecca girl?
Fucking lolly, dude.
She just kind of came out of nowhere. I was surprised by her reaction to her brother dying right in front of her.
It was cool, man. I mean, like this character. There's only two characters I really don't care about, and it's Maine's girlfriend, whatever her name is, and then Kiwi, the hacker girl. I was like, she's cool, but whatever. And then the other one, I'm like, whatever.
You get to see her tits.
Yeah, you get to see a lot. You get to see Lucy's tits.
Fuck yeah.
You get to see a lot of people's tits. But no, I was just like, what the fuck was I gonna say now? Oh, this cast of characters is so good, and it's so refreshing to watch a show where I actually care what happens to these people. And I'm worried what's gonna happen to these people because stuff actually happens to these people, and stuff actually matters.
That's the life in Night City for you.
Trying to think about it from a female's perspective of how much it's unfair that like all like the nudity and like sexualized characters or most of them are females, and the only dick we see is this homeless dude's fucking disproportionate mushroom tip.
Yeah,
Who's like,
it's almost like we live in a patriarchy, bro.
yeah, man. So
It's almost like, yeah, I mean, it's the way it is.
They know that tit sells.
That's why I hate Faye Valentine so much, because she's literally just there for sexual moments.
I gotta say, I definitely hate the internet right now. Because they
Why?
love to fill up my goddamn feed with spoilers.
Oh yeah.
mm,
So I already know some shit that's gonna go down, and I'm mad because of it.
Well, I was saying before we started, I was so tempted just to keep watching because it's so good. It's only 5 more
too.
episodes, and I'm like, fuck, I just want to watch.
we
I
just
will
fucking
say,
binge that whole thing,
At
man.
the end of episode 5, I had to double check. Was this really episode 5? And I got sad. Knowing
Yeah.
that I'd have to wait to watch the remainder of Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
I wonder if they could do an interactive on Netflix for
What the
this.
fuck are you talking about?
Like
What's
one of
an
the interactive
interactive?
shows where
What the
they
hell's an
give you an
interactive?
option.
Just saying it twice doesn't explain it to me, Choom.
Make it fucking interactive, dude.
What is that? What's an interactive show?
They
Jesus
fucking prompt you with
Christ.
the choices that you pick.
I know I can't handle you for a heist. So
Why?
indecisive.
It's like playing a Telltale game, but you're watching it on Netflix.
Thank you.
It's
fuck?
playing a
Like the
Telltale
fucking
game.
Minecraft shit. You know?
Ew. Why?
No,
I know who the fuck plays
I'm just curious,
Minecraft anymore.
I think they did it with like Black Mirror and some other shows that were really popular.
I feel like that ruins the point of watching a show. I don't want to watch a show to make decisions. I want to watch a show to make other people make bad decisions. I don't want to press a button and get half the cast killed and be like, shit. Rewind.
Why?
Because
That means you had the balls to kill the characters in the show. That makes you a great fucking writer.
no, it doesn't. It does not
You
make me a
just
great
said that
writer.
it does.
Because I don't know the inner workings of these characters' minds like writers do. I don't know what decisions they would make. That's why I like just watching them make their decisions.
If you want to make decisions, I would recommend playing Cyberpunk 2077.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's
I don't know
gotten
who
better
would
through
wanna-
the Edgerunners update, but it's been ever since it first came out. Shut up, Bixby, you stupid bitch.
I've still heard that the
Sorry.
story is pretty shit. Or like the overall main story is pretty shit.
I don't know who the fuck was smoking that when they told you that, but I would disagree.
I liked how they called David D, like they call VV in the game.
Mm-hmm.
Nice little switcheroo.
The only problem with Cyberpunk 2077, aside from the glitches and very wonky gameplay, the side missions were, for the most part, unfulfilling. There was definitely some diamonds in the rough, but the overall main story was very endearing and was the only reason I was able to complete Cyberpunk 2077.
Hey, we got a guest appearance here. Just a quick shout out. Towley made it in this week.
Oh my god. The Towel
Fucking-
Samurai. What's up? I just saw you
Towel-
from the afterlife. How's it going, Choom?
Towel is all crisped up.
So Rim Job.
floating in,
Rim Job, are there any of these characters from the show in your game?
Are you gonna answer him, Choom?
Talking to you, Silver Chrome Rim Job man.
Oh, I've had my share of rim jobs before. But the only character that comes to mind from the show is Rogue. When they went to the Afterlife bar, that was the girl in yellow. She was a mainstay.
Yeah, Rogue was in there, right?
Yeah,
Rogue was there.
She was there, and she's my, well, let's just say part of me that I can't get rid of.
Do you guys
We
have a favorite
fucked.
character?
Lucy.
Really?
Yep.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
I like her style of like fighting. And
Oh,
how
her
she
weapon is
really
so
fucking
cool.
when she like fucking threw all the shit out the door to go in with the fucking gun to save David too. Like just that desperation to save him.
Her
Oh,
weapon is really fucking cool.
yeah. She's a net runner.
Yeah. My favorite character is Maine. I love Maine. He's so fucking cool. I love characters like that. Like he's like the Bakugo type character where he's very impulsive, but you can tell he's smart on the end. Like he's very intelligent, but he's very impulsive.
I just love the relationship between Maine and David. You know,
Me too.
that tutor kind of
David's my
style.
second. What are you fucking laughing at, boy?
I thought you were gonna say your favorite character was the dude in the still frame that's sitting on the edge with the
No.
fucking pocket pussy on his.
That's my third favorite character.
That's a man that knows what he wants.
Hey, he's just fucking vibing, dude.
In Night City, you're either there in reality or stuck in one of those BDs.
BDs are terrifying. That scene where David relived his death, I was like I was like, that's horrifying. That's
Yeah.
nightmare fuel right there.
And he
Fuck
felt
that.
every single part of it.
Mhm.
That's why I never
like,
fuck with those things. I'd rather just stay in my real world self.
I was watching that shit, and like initially, I was like, "Oh, what the hell happened?" And I'm like, "Nah, no shot. This is fucking fake. Some shit's happening right now. This is not real."
Yeah.
It was technically real to David because he felt all of it. It's like he even experienced it. And he was going to have him experience it again and again until his mind popped like a fucking cherry.
Yeah, and until he became what the opening scene was.
Yeah, one of those cyber psychos.
Yep.
Especially with those military grade cyberware. Those chooms
Only
will
matter of
fuck
time.
up most
Oh,
of
I
the
Only
love-
matter
tech.
of time, Choom.
I love David too, because I think my favorite like type of power in fiction is powers that let people get from one place to the other place quickly, and it looks like they're teleporting. Like that's why I love Minato so much, because he can just jump in between spots. I love David's Sammy or Sandy, whatever it's called.
You
Like,
got it.
I love abilities that make people like speed abilities that look like they're teleporting and stuff.
Mhm.
Because you can do so many creative fights with those abilities.
I don't know if I have any particular one that is my favorite character out of like the whole crew per se, but I like how different parts of the show and especially the different characters on the crew definitely give me a lot of the same vibes as many of the main like plotline characters from the Borderlands series that the four of us all really love.
I
So
don't love Borderlands.
that's three at or two that some of us love.
Mitch just doesn't like it because the mini map isn't a bar.
No,
And
I
stuff
don't like it
that.
because you three ruined the experience for me.
Damn.
Because I was level 1 and you guys were all level 50 and you just dragged me through the start of the game. And I was like, this isn't fun.
How do you feel about that, Johnny Silverdick calling you out?
What are you talking about, Choom?
He said you three, you're included.
Night City. You either die a legend or you fade away into obscurity.
What about you? Are you obscure or are you going to die soon?
I'm a fucking legend. I stormed Arasaka's tower with
How
Rogue
come I've never
and
heard of you before?
the goddamn Atom Smasher. Fucked me up, man.
How come I never heard of you before? Because you're a legend.
Because you're not paying attention. Obviously, your head's in the BDs. You're talking about shut the fuck up, Bigsby. No one wants to hear you right now.
Is that your girl?
She used to be my old output, but Rogue is my current output.
What the fuck does output mean?
Oh my god, Choom. How long have you been in Night City?
For
Good
5
Lord.
episodes?
Oh my god. This Spoken
I
like a
think
true
Towley's
nomad.
coming in for a close up. He wants to hear your secret. What you do with the lollipop?
I don't know what you're talking about with the lollipop, but Johnny
Tell us what's in it.
Silverhand does not
Why?
fuck with lollipops.
Your hand's
Why
not
is
even
it-
silver. Your hand's black.
Why is the towel so fucking crisp?
It's been through a
You
lot.
you know why it's crisp.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I'm sure if we take a deeper, closer look to it, we could see the residue of certain substances.
Ugh. All right, Johnny Silverhand, who's your favorite character?
It's hard to say, but I will say, like I mentioned before, the relationship between Maine and David is usually the thing that catches my attention. But I will say I've enjoyed Lucy a lot.
Yeah.
I'm more interested to see how Rebecca turns out because, like I said before, all over the VODs, I've seen nothing but shit about Rebecca. Like, she's, like, people are praising her. They believe in the Rebecca supremacy. I don't know
Yeah.
what the fuck these chooms are on, but
It's because she
We'll have to
clutched
look
that
forward.
first heist. She clutched it, dude.
yeah. She had to do what she had to do to get the job done.
Like she literally clutched it.
Yeah.
Plus what?
His dick.
Oh, yeah.
They were stuck in the bar, and the guy was walking away. Rebecca acted fast with her hands.
I was
think
actually
that fast.
impressed. I was impressed at how his cybernetics were able to extend into his control of the car during that little chase. Like instead of just him, like
Well,
I'm curious how it
He
actually
had
ended up
he had
working with the
faster
car.
reflexes with the car and
yeah,
the controls.
that's why the car looked like it was spazzing out. It's because he would go into the slow mo and he would turn the wheel, but in real time the wheel wasn't turning. So then he'd come back and the wheel would be, instead of the wheel turning, the wheel would go from here to here in 0.2 seconds, and then it would be. That's why it was spazzing out. So he wasn't controlling the car; he was just moving the wheel super fast.
Yeah.
Gosh.
That was a
Big
cool
brain.
scene. Yeah.
So
More like
Rebecca
sheer panic of a rookie.
Bigsby.
of a Bigsby. So is Rebecca the short one whose
Yes.
brother is been kept? Okay, yeah.
He's fucking
I know.
flatlined. Yeah.
Yeah, I know we talked about that kind of already, but I liked that her reaction was not just like to cry and bawl her eyes out. It was more like, when friends say it either seriously or jokingly, the whole thing of like, if you die, I'm gonna kill you. That she was just super pissed at the guy who was going psycho, and she was like, killing him was my thing. Like, you can't take that away from me. So, but obviously she was, very sad and angry in that moment. But I like that it didn't just completely paralyze her. That she was still, well, I guess until her team decided to paralyze her. But
Yeah.
that's besides the point.
Yeah, Maine's like shut her down. She's gonna die.
Yeah.
That's why I like Maine so much. Maine is like, he's this hard exterior, but you can tell he cares so much about his crew, and he's like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to keep my crew alive. Which. Then again, I did think when he was talking to David and Kiwi about the new like plan, I was like, we really didn't see Maine like get affected by Pillar's death at all, or Pike, whatever his name is, Pike or what his death
I think it
at
was like
all.
Pilar.
Yeah, and I was like, he's just, they're kind of just like, whatever. A guy died, cool. Let's move on.
Yeah. That was kind of weird
Mm-hmm.
because he's been with the crew for a while, I would think, right?
Yeah.
Enough
That's
to get
how
all
it
pissed
rolls
off.
in Night City. You could flatline any moment. All that matters is that what legacy you leave behind.
So he was
Legacy hero.
All Pike would be remembered for is his head being
Yeah.
blown the fuck off by one of those cyber psychos.
Yep.
Dude, I can already tell this show's gonna make me cry. Cool, because they're gonna kill Maine, and I'm gonna fucking cry like a baby. And then Did you guys notice at the end of the intro? I don't know how if you guys have watched the intro, but at the end of the intro, it's David with a hole in his head and the bad guy
Yeah.
standing over him. I'm like, is that
Yep.
just trying to subvert our expectations, or is that foreshadowing for what's gonna happen?
Maybe his mind gets blown and he turns into a cyber psycho too. Either way, I feel like it's some form of foreshadowing.
And the outro focuses on Lucy. I only watched it one time.
And
but-
that man, whenever a character says
Always gotta watch it
something,
all
whenever a character says, "I'm not going to die," I automatically assume they're going to die.
the time.
Because Lucy was
That's
like,
usually the standard, yes.
Lucy was like, "Please, I just don't want you to die." And David's like, "Don't worry, I won't." I was like, "Okay," but David's fucking dead.
So at the end of the series, he's gonna fucking die, is what you're
Yeah.
telling me.
I'm
Lucy's
assuming so.
gonna have to go to the moon by herself, and she'll be where she wants to be, but she'll be alone, so she'll be sad.
I'm sure they'll make it to the moon, but David, in his never-ending wisdom, will forget his helmet because Mame won't be around to supply him with a helmet. So his head will pretty much fucking explode as soon as they get out of the lander.
Well, no, we've seen Cowboy Bebop, so like people can just like hold their breaths for a long time, and they're fine in space. That's how that works.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, cowboys here, Choom. But this is Night City.
You wouldn't know. You wouldn't know.
Bro, like, okay, I hate shit talking Cowboy Bebop so much, but I was worried this was gonna happen when I watched the show. This show made me hate Cowboy Bebop even more. Because I was like, look what this show did in 5 episodes to make me care so much about these people. And we've watched 15 episodes of Cowboy Bebop. I'm like, I don't care about any of these people at all. Like,
we've
it's just
watched 19.
19 episodes, even worse. Yeah, I don't care about anybody in that show at all. And 5 episodes, I care so much about these characters. So there's different in quality of writing.
Yes, sir.
Their focus
Yeah,
is definitely
I wish we would have
different.
watched the. I wish we would have watched the whole all 10 episodes. Oh man.
It wasn't 10, it was like 13.
That would have been a lot.
For Cyberpunk.
Oh, for Cyberpunk. I thought you meant for last week for Bebop. Okay, never mind.
I mean, I would have liked to do that too, but Cyberpunk more.
That would have been the easiest shit I've ever done. Just watching just binging through all 10 episodes. I was tempted to keep watching.
Of this episode.
So was I.
But
I don't want to have to wait a week, but we are.
I had to stop myself.
Well, you can watch the rest tonight, and then you'll just have to refamiliarize yourself.
I can't watch the rest tonight. I gotta go to work, make money.
Whenever it's your
I
night,
see what you're
whenever
coming from, Choom.
Wait, what the fuck does that mean again? They said it a lot in the show. What the fuck is choom?
I imagine it's slang for like idiot or punk, but not. I guess not punk because they have cyberpunk. So
I think punk is a good way to put it.
Yeah, right. Like,
or it's like a more derogatory dude, bruh.
Yeah, dude, bruh, idiot, stupid ad,
homie,
doofus.
Yeah.
Or you could just call him fucking Choom and quit reading into stuff.
Yeah, don't worry about what it means. Just use it.
What if it's like super? What if it's super offensive for a band?
Yeah, it's like super bad, super TOS.
I would like to take this moment then to apologize to all the people I haven't offended yet. I'll get to you soon.
Whenever I hear choom, I think of soup for some reason.
Whenever I hear Johnny Silverhand's voice, all I can think about is whether or not he's gonna stick around after the show when we're all talking, or if Travis is gonna get home right after, or not.
You know what I think is whenever Johnny Dick has to lift that fucking shit into his mouth, he thinks that it's like super thin, right? So he just has to go like that. He has to open up that shit.
Yeah, he underestimated this, right? Yeah, I believe that. Yeah.
That thing must be so fucking soggy from going in and out of your mouth too. It's gonna be all fucking sloppy and shit.
My God. You could have just cut that part off too.
You could have.
What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Or you could have used like a white pen or something.
Oh. All right.
I want
He,
that part
he
to like
even
rip
fucking
off
does
so
the.
bad.
He even does the.
Johnny Silverhand
Yeah, I
does
know.
not suck on suckers, okay?
Can you
Get that out of your
do more?
fucking
What is
minds,
that?
Chum.
Can you make
It's like
it?
a
Can you
cake
do a
pop or
close
some
up?
shit.
Do a close up.
Close up on what? What do you want, my
Of the
fucking
fucking cake
autograph
pop.
now?
Yeah, your silver hand, bro. Come on.
Your autograph, yeah,
Every
dude.
time I like how he's trying not to move his arm because every time you move it here, they're like.
Just break it, yeah.
It's probably gonna, the fucking aluminum foil is gonna cut into his arm if he moves it. So he's gotta stay flexed the whole time.
I
With all
like how
the
he fucking drew with like marker on his arm too.
Arm hairs.
oh shit, yeah, okay, I just
Mhm.
noticed.
Now you
Dude, his arm
guys,
must be-
Details
now you
exquisite.
chums are talking shit about my arm.
What happened to your arm,
That
Johnny?
fucking Atom Smasher ripped that motherfucker away from me, and I swear I'll get him back for it.
You put it back on with duct tape.
Maybe some scotch tape, but that didn't work. I need to see a Ripper doc to get it fully fixed.
Yeah.
Rogue probably has a good contact in
That's the problem.
Afterlife.
Yeah. What
Why are you
doing,
called
you
Silver
say?
Hand if your hand isn't silver?
My hand is fucking cold, okay, Chum?
Okay.
What, I can't wear a glove?
No.
Okay. That's really nice of you, Chum. Being able to dictate my attire for me. Just
Well,
like
yeah, I mean-
everything in Night City, you have a choice, okay? And with your choices, you either go out a legend or you fade into obscurity. How'd you know I was about to say that? Are you
Sounds
trying
like
to
you said it
copy me,
5
Chum?
times.
Are you trying to suck me off?
No.
Oh. You can't do that. We're not allowed to do that.
The fuck I'm not.
I know that.
I'm Johnny Silverhand.
Because people wanted to, but we can't.
When I don't like something, I change it.
What the fuck is happening?
What
I
we're
have a
talking
fucking
about
fever dream, bro.
is
Yeah.
Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
That's quite the BD we're on.
Indeed.
I am impressed that David was able to go ahead and completely upgrade his lungs too.
That was
It takes
Yeah.
some mighty balls to take out your original lungs.
Mm-hmm.
well,
Lord
and
knows
not
mine's
die.
already faded away
And not
with all the
fucking die.
smoking.
yeah, how the fuck does that happen? He gets his lungs removed. Medical assistance. He just gets it cut out of him.
It's the big brain play, so that way he can take Lucy to the moon and not have to worry about suffocating.
I thought you were going to say to take Lucy to town, but that too.
You will
Yeah,
have the endurance now to go down to Pound Town.
There was something I wanted to mention. It's kind of small, but I thought about it when I first saw it.
You better not be talking about Silverhand's dick.
No, episode
Because
1.
I got a fat cock.
Episode 1 and episode 2, when David first walks to school, he does that whole scene, and then when he walks to school to go beat up that kid, it does the exact same scene with just David wearing the coat again. Do
Mhm.
you think that was just we don't have the budget to make a new background, or do you think that was like intentional, like showing how David's depression, he doesn't understand, like he doesn't focus on the world around him, he's just focused on himself, and like everything else is just numb to him, so it just feels the same every day.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
kind of the vibe I got.
Yeah.
well, you could see the differences from the initial walk to the second walk. Because before he dropped to the garbage, he hesitated. When he was walking past the BD addicts, he sat down right under the splash zone.
The second walk, I think he was hoping the garbage bags wouldn't catch him, and he would die. That's what I think he was hoping for.
Yeah.
That's why I love David, because I love it when shows and books and movies subtly hint that a character is fucked up in the head without like just being blatantly obvious. Like, this character is depressed. This character's suffering from trauma really bad. I love the little subtle hints they give us with David's mental health.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These are characters you can definitely relate to. and see what they've gone through and actually understand.
Yeah. No, David's great.
No, he's
They
definitely a good protagonist.
Yeah.
I gotta say, the soundtrack, the animation, everything's just good.
On point. Yep.
I've listened to the song with when they were on time. So
What was that?
Yeah. What the
You
fuck
cut
did you
out
say?
for a second there,
I
Samurai.
listened to the song when they were on the moon for a couple times already.
Okay, you don't have to yell at me, Choom. Okay, raise your fucking voice again,
I didn't scream into it.
Oh my gosh.
and I'll show you what this cock can do.
Hey yo. I know they were, or I know that they were and are still already planning on doing like a Witcher themed anime, but I wonder now how many like different companies and especially
How much you
video
paid for that
game.
cyberware, Choom? Was it worth the pepper?
Josh, go ahead.
Are you sure?
Josh,
Are you gonna
the
talk or
Witcher?
not?
Okay, they were already planning on doing a Witcher anime. I'm curious now to see how many other companies and video game studios will now want to make an anime to try to drum up excitement for their video game based on the success of Cyberpunk.
I mean, they already made a Witcher
Thanks,
anime.
Yusuf.
They made a
Is it
Netflix
already
show,
out?
didn't they?
Yeah, they made a Netflix one. Like,
Oh,
it's been out
I
for
thought
a
it was
couple
going. I
years.
thought it was still coming out. I
That
didn't
was
know it
with
was
that
already out.
Superman guy. That what was his name? Henry
No,
Cavill or
they made
whatever.
a show, but they
That's
also
different.
made
Actual animated
they made
one.
an animated.
Yes.
I don't think it's a whole show, but I think it's like a one shot.
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah. It's not about Geralt. It's about his like teacher guy, whatever his name is.
I mean, you can thank Arcane for this.
Mhm.
So Arcane was like the grandfather for video game animes.
But
That actually did.
that's a slightly different, I guess, like visual
I don't care.
style.
Arcane is
Probably because they
brilliant.
have a bigger fucking budget because it's Riot
Yeah.
Games and it's League of Legends.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I'm just curious to see kind of what or where we'll go from here and how much more of this we're gonna see. Because I definitely think that it's no coincidence that Cyberpunk is now like 50% off on Steam, and they're just trying to see how many people will scoop up the game based on this.
It will forever blow my mind how one little Netflix animation was able to turn around an entire series. Everyone looked at Cyberpunk 2077 in disarray, and this one show was able to flip it on everything on its head.
Well, I think this should show game developers that what people care about the most is not the new freaking like the graphics or not new like abilities or not new things in the game that you can do. The thing that people care about the most is fucking characters and story. So get your fucking characters and your story.
You gotta stop choking, Choom.
What the fuck are you talking about? I
Get
don't
your
choke.
character-
I get shit done. That's why I'm the fucking legend here, aside from, well, our esteemed guest Towel.
Of course. Go on then.
Well,
Legacy
anything
of
else
Heroes.
to say?
No.
Why? Why are you holding back now?
I don't even know where we left off. What the fuck is happening?
You're too busy playing with your fucking eggplant emoji.
You've been playing too much with your little Discord cyberware. You have to show off that you could show some icons or some shit.
You were showing off there too, Mr. Silverarm.
I always show off. That's why I'm the legend here.
If only you would have shoved that in 1 more inch, fucking silver arm.
Nah. You don't
Then
want to
would
start
truly
calling me
would
Silver Neck.
It would have disappeared. Yeah.
I don't want to be called Silver Neck, okay?
Chrome Dome, bro.
Hell yeah. I think I got what you were saying though, Mitch.
We haven't talked about the scene that's on the screen yet. Oh, the cool scene.
What's on screen?
with the ambulance.
Do it when, on the
Where
stretcher when she.
Lucy.
Oh, the
Great.
best fucking scene.
It's a fucking cool scene, man.
Yeah.
No, I enjoyed every part of it.
That was when David fell in love. He couldn't take his eyes off her.
Well,
He's like, holy
how
shit.
about we just make it easier on ourselves? Is there a low point so far in this show? I don't think so.
I don't think so either. I think everything's been pretty. Like I said, the only low point is the fact that you can tell the budget's pretty low because they had to like just copy and paste some of the background scenes.
What's the
That's about
what's
it.
the purpose of them going for like that one? Oh shit, I don't even know who he was or what he does.
The BD
But, like,
maker.
oh, is that what he is? The BD maker guy?
The guy who got the nail in his neck.
Yeah, yeah.
They
That's,
went. They
that's who
went to-
David
they
was
went-
watching at the start of the series.
They went after him because they knew the main corporal guy was gonna be there alone that night.
Usually interrogate BD doctors just to get a foot in against Arasaka.
Yeah. I love that scene too because normally, like the main corpo bad guy would not be able to put up a fight, but he was like, "I'm gonna beat the shit out of all of you guys," which I love. I love that world because anybody can be a threat in this world. It's so I love it because you don't know what they're hiding inside them.
If you have enough money.
It shows even like any other person in their crew, like the edge running crew, are vulnerable. Like you have Maine, who's supposed to be like this big badass dude, and he just got brought down immediately. You got Kiwi that just started puking. I don't know what the Maine's girl is. She got a little quiver
Headache.
down there. Who knows? But yeah. And you got like that dumbass fucking from like the Arasaka dude, like the weird combat shit.
That's his dad.
Yeah.
Advanced form of cyberware. Gives you advanced tactics and kung fu.
Well,
Bitch
thanks.
to deal with.
Thanks for that wonderful insight.
Yeah, they can't dodge a bullet though. That's how I take care of those
Or
Arasaka
nail.
bastards.
I think
David can dodge a bullet. David has dodged bullets.
I'm not talking about fucking David. I'm talking about Arasaka. I ain't got no beef with David.
Well, what if Arasaka gets David, Sam, or Sandy?
We'll take him out.
How?
With guns, of course.
But they whatever. I'm done with this bit.
Me and Rogue will get a chopper together and we'll storm Arasaka
I fucking
again.
hate this bit so much, man.
I'm still
bit are you
laughing
even
because when he
talking
pointed
about?
his finger at you, his normal arm, you heard the fucking crinkle of
Yeah.
Gotta
Also,
take the
is it-
arm in at the shop, okay?
Yeah.
Get a little oiled up.
Not to distract from the bit, but is it just me, or is this like a Pikachu dressed in the same outfit as Ash Ketchum? You see this?
No, I just see the stand that says Snick.
I'm pointing to the other side.
Yeah, I know. I'm not paying attention. I'm looking at the Snicks.
I don't know what
Okay.
Pikachu you're talking about.
Yeah, you wouldn't. You wouldn't.
Pikachu to the pole.
But
You wouldn't.
so far with Cyberpunk Edgerunners, it's been nothing but high marks. And seems we're all sad that we're not watching it right now and finishing it up.
Yeah. I don't know if it would be the same in the sub, especially since you seem to be really enjoying it. There
love
have
the
been a
sub.
few times where I've noticed that the voice acting didn't exactly leave me feeling as connected to the characters as maybe I could have been or whatever. Just like a couple times, but like it's not like the whole thing has been emotionless or whatever. But there have been a couple times where it just felt like it was lackluster. But I also don't know if that's their voice acting or like the way that the lines translated over or just the writing in general. I couldn't. I'd have to rewatch it again to even point to the scenes because I can't remember them off the top of my head. But the vast majority of it has been fantastic, and yeah, I'll probably be watching the next 5 episodes tonight.
Yeah, that's fucking brilliant, man. So good, and I'm so happy because Netflix is like hit or miss. Like they'll- if like 10 shows, they'll hit on 3 of them, and then the other 7 will just be dog shit. And I was really worried this one was going to be one of the 7 that's just shit, but this is brilliant. It's really good, and I think it's such a good start. I don't think they could ruin it with a bad ending. They've set themselves up so
Never
well.
say never.
Seems to be a lot of foreshadowing in the show right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, the VODs have already spoiled me on shit that's gonna happen, so I'm a little irritated at it. But we'll just have to see how it ends.
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming that's all we have to say then about this week of Cyberpunk Edgerunners.
Yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Does Towel have anything to say?
Yeah, Towel remembered what I couldn't, and that's that Geralt's teacher from Witcher is Vesemir. That's who the anime is about. It's about Vesemir.
Well, I definitely haven't had a vasectomy yet, but that's for the future to worry about. But it seems like for now, we're all done talking about Cyberpunk Edgerunners for this week. So, whoever you chooms were hanging out, thank you for hanging out. And we will catch you in the next stream. So, roll the outro.
On the next episode of this episode, Trav, Josh, Mitch, and Yusuf discuss episodes 20 through 26 of Cowboy Bebop. We're not asking for you to open an interdimensional portal for us, but if you want to support us another way, make sure to drop a like and hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already. While you're there, ring the bell to turn on notifications. You won't want to miss it when new episodes go live. If you want to listen to us elsewhere, follow us on Spotify at This Episode Podcast, and head on over to twitch.tv/DutchRe, where you can watch us live every Monday night. Thanks for watching. See you, Space Cowboy.